Welcome to my channel, The Light Within. Chapter 2. The question that has broken every brain that tried to answer it. If you're new here, welcome. This series is called Aham Brahmasmi, From Brain to Brahman, and it's my personal exploration of what those three Sanskrit words might mean when you look at them through the lenses of brain science, quantum physics, and philosophy. Start with the prologue if you want the full picture. Last month in Chapter 1, we discovered something striking about our senses. Your eyes can only detect 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum. Your ears cover a fraction of the frequencies that animals around you navigate every day. The hypothesis is that your brain might do something similar with consciousness. Not produce it, but filter it. Today, we go to the place where that idea gets its most serious test. What exactly is consciousness, and why has every attempt to fully explain it inside the brain eventually hit the same wall? Have you ever been driving somewhere familiar? Your commute, your parents' house, somewhere you have been 100 times and suddenly arrived with zero memory of the journey? Like you blinked and you were there? Your brain was clearly functioning. You stopped at lights. You navigated. You didn't hit anything. But you were somewhere else entirely. Where were you? What was driving? And which one was the real you? That weird, slightly unsettling question is actually the front door of the biggest mystery in all of science. Not the universe, not DNA, not quantum physics. The biggest mystery is sitting between your ears right now, and we genuinely do not have a complete explanation for how it works. Here's what's wild. We actually know a lot about the brain. We can watch it in real time using brain scanners. We can point to the exact region that fires when you see a face, feel pain, hear music, or experience fear. Scientists call these the easy problems of consciousness. And to be clear, they are not actually easy. Decades of brilliant work went into them. But they are easy in the sense that we at least know what kind of answer we are looking for. But then there is the other question. Why does any of it feel like anything at all? Your brain is processing the color red right now. We can describe all of that machinery in detail. But why does red look red? Why does it feel like something to see it? Why is there a subjective experience at all, rather than just information being processed with no one home? This is what philosopher David Chalmers called the hard problem of consciousness. And unlike the easy problems, this one has no agreed scientific answer. After decades of work by some of the best researchers on the planet, imagine I gave you a perfect, complete recipe for the most delicious meal you have ever eaten. Every ingredient, every measurement, every step. I describe the exact chemical reactions that happen when it cooks. Explain precisely how the molecules interact with your taste receptors. None of that tells you what it tastes like. The tasting part, the actual experience of flavor, is completely absent from even the most detailed scientific description. That gap between the complete mechanical description and the actual experience is very similar to the gap between our best neuroscience and consciousness. We have increasingly detailed recipes for how the brain works. The tasting part remains unexplained. But two main theories have emerged. The first is called integrated information theory. Here's the simplest way I can explain it. Imagine your brain as a city. A city works because everything is connected. Roads, power lines, water pipes, communication networks. Now cut the city into isolated neighborhoods with no connections between them, and it stops functioning as a city. Consciousness, this theory suggests, might work the same way. It may be less about any single part of the brain and more about how deeply all the parts work together as one integrated whole. The richer and more interconnected that integration, the more conscious the system might be. Now, here's where it gets interesting and a little uncomfortable. If consciousness is simply a property of integration, then it is not exclusive to human brains. A dog might have some, a mouse less, and a thermostat, which has the most basic kind of input and output, might have the faintest, most microscopic trace of something. And AI, which is what I'm using to record this, has a lot of interconnected networks, and it will be very troubling to think AI is conscious. Nobody has proven this is true. Nobody has proven it wrong either. And most people find the thermostat or an AI part deeply unsettling, which is probably the right reaction. The second theory is called the global workspace theory. Think of your brain like a busy airport. Hundreds of things are happening simultaneously. Planes landing, bags being loaded, passengers navigating, staff communicating in different terminals. Most of it happens quietly, behind the scenes, without any central announcement. But when something important needs everyone's attention, a gate change, a security alert, it gets broadcast over the PA system throughout the entire airport. Everyone hears it at once. In this analogy, consciousness is the PA system. Your brain processes thousands of things below the surface simultaneously, and consciousness is the mechanism that selects certain information and broadcasts it widely across the whole brain, making it available to memory, decision-making, language, and action. Whatever makes it onto the PA becomes conscious. Everything else stays backstage. This theory explains a lot. Why we can only focus on a limited number of things at once. Why some things feel conscious and others don't. But here is the gap it cannot fill. It tells us which information gets broadcast and how. What it does not explain is why the broadcast feels like anything at all, just like our tasting thing. Why is there a you listening to the PA? Why isn't the information just processed silently and efficiently like a computer running a program with nobody watching the screen? That question remains unanswered. Two proposals, both incomplete, and both assume consciousness is something the brain produces. That assumption, what I'm going to call the factory model, is exactly what the chapter 3 challenges. Go back to chapter 1. Your eyes do not make light, they filter it. Your ears do not make sound, they filter it. Some researchers have asked, what if asking how does the brain produce consciousness is like asking how do your eyes produce light? What if the factory was never there to begin with? Max Planck, the man who founded quantum theory, Nobel Prize winner, one of the architects of modern physics, said something that I think is the most honest sentence ever written about this problem. Science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature, for in the final analysis, we ourselves are part of the mystery we are trying to solve. He said that in 1932, the hard problem of consciousness is exactly that mystery, and we are still standing in the same place. The thinkers who started pulling on that thread is the Nobel Prize winner, the founder of modern psychology, and the man who invented the microchip. But that's for chapter 3. So, in summary, scientists can explain a great deal about how the brain processes information, attention, memory, perception. Real verified progress has been made on these questions. What science has not been able to explain is why any of that processing feels like anything. This is called the hard problem of consciousness, and no agreed solution exists. Two leading theories, integrated information theory and global workspace theory, are both genuinely interesting and both incomplete. Both assume the brain produces consciousness. That assumption might be worth questioning. The recipe analogy, a perfect scientific description of a meal, tells you nothing about what it tastes like. Chapter 3 introduces 6 people who looked at this problem and independently arrived at a similar idea through completely different routes. One founded modern psychology, one won the Nobel Prize, one invented the microchip. None of them are household names in the consciousness conversation. And that to me is the most interesting part of the story. So before I let you go, have you ever done something on autopilot? Driven somewhere, said something, or made a decision, and then wondered who actually did that? Drop it in the comments. that feeling is exactly what makes the heart problem hard.